What up, y'all? What's good? What's good? What it good do? Hey, y'all. I'm chilling in the shade because it's hot. It's just hot. It's hotter than fish grease. But we is in here. What's up? The Jaguar Rider Effect in the building. Number two, Martha. What's up, y'all? Let me change some quick. Bam. All messages are visible. let me readjust myself. Hold on one second. It'll be better suited right here. My Kia Sanders. Patricia Blair. Hey, Golden Aries. What's good? Damn, goddamn flies. Remind me of that one blooper reel. The damn reporter was out in the middle of the damn field. He was all talking all proper. He was all like, "Yeah, so what did he say? He said something like, yeah, so the federal investigators commenced to go to the fly got in his mouth or something. I mean, like that country came. I'm like, God damn it, these mother. He, that country came out like a mother. No, ninjas and flies. Who I despise. Um, what's up, y'all? I'm Jay. I said, yeah. I was going to talk about this topic sooner, but I said, let me just kind of hold back because there was a lot coming out last night. But yeah, for those who don't know about Gilbert Arenas, and no, I'm not going to talk mess about Gilbert or nothing like that. I just wanted to kind of say something just in general about just some funny things that are going on in just LA in general. I'll just say it like that. I mean, everybody know about the situation that's going on with Big U and who that might implicate or that might implicate others. But there's other stuff going on too. What's up with Gilbert? Did he? No, Alina. No, Gilbert Arenas. No, he didn't. He didn't. But if you ask Kwame Brown, shout out to Kwame Brown, it'll be a Kwame got a bunch. I didn't even know they were beefing. So look, Gilbert Arenas got indicted. He got his name was mentioned in an indictment in regards to illegal gambling and some what was it? Tax evasion, lying to the lying to federal officials. Yeah, North Hollywood now. That's what's up. Yeah, lying to federal officials. You ain't supposed to lie to a Fed, and that, I'm gonna talk about that. I mean, I'm not gonna be long. I'm just gonna be real brief. Appreciate y'all hitting the like button. He yeah, he lied to a federal officer. He'll probably go down for that, but then there's other stuff involved. But there's a thing with not Russian, Israeli. Yeah, I was damn near close. It's a whole nother comment. The Israeli mafia, and they say crime syndicate. They try to make it like when it's black gangs or for some criminals they're black. They're gang members, right? When you talk about others, maybe like the Italians, they'll say mafia, but when you mention others, like you got the Greek crime syndicate or Greek mafia, Italian, I'm sorry, Israeli, Russian, they're all out there, and they have I'll just say they have interests in LA, and of course there's a lot of people that come to LA to play, and I'm not here to snitch what he's going down for. What Gilbert Arenas is pretty much, what they're indicting him for. There's a lot of people that do that. I ain't been in any, so don't ask. I ain't been in any, but there's a lot of people that do that. But now let me backstory just a little bit. Gilbert Arenas is he's a former Laker, right? I don't follow sports like that. I know that's crazy, right? But I don't follow sports like that. But he's a former Laker, and I didn't know him and Kwame Brown were going at it. I just figured that I found that out, but they were going at it, and that's a But yeah, he basically is being indicted. So they got 3 counts against him, federal charges, and this is a maximum of 5 years per count. Yeah, yeah. They found the GUNs on him. Like he's moving kind of reckless. I can't even front. Like I didn't know too much about his basketball, but the antics off the court are known. And he even made a bet online. I'm gonna talk about that for the world to see. It's crazy. But no, he's looking at possible 15 years, and yeah, he's been implicated in a whole bunch of other implicated with a bunch of other people. So that's what's going on. Um, I know Gilbert Arenas, throughout LA. He's probably one of the first people to have a dispensary that I know of. He had a dispensary called Most Wanted. Out of all things to call it, Most Wanted. But I guess that's what he do. I think that's a side hustle or side business that he do. I know he had this one dispensary in the neighborhood, and people, the homies tell I don't partake in any of that, right? But the homies used to be like, yeah, he used to be up in there, and he's cool, and everybody say he's cool, and I never had any interaction with him. He seemed cool. He seemed a little, you know, him and his wife, and shout out to Melly Monaco. She was a YouTuber. Well, she still is a YouTuber. She had her thing called the Pineapple Show, where people would come up and shoot their shot at like these women. I remember that. So he ended up marrying her. I remember when they got together, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But they I was like, yeah, I thought they were still like boyfriend and girlfriend. They didn't get married, so shout out to them. And I guess they fit each other because she a little goofy, he a little goofy, right? But yeah, the Pineapple Show with Melly Monaco. So shout out to her. That's his wife. She's a YouTuber. Um, and I'll talk about the bet that I saw. That was wow. It was real wow. But yeah, he basically he played for the Wizards and the Grizzlies. Yeah, 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 he did. Yeah, I'm thinking he played for no, he got traded. Who did he get traded by? Let me not even. Gilbert Arenas wasn't a Laker, but he was in California. He was in LA. He had the little dispensary, and he was doing his thing. It went away like about what about 15 years ago. So like I said, it was like one of the first dispensaries like out there like that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all good. Clearly in basketball, he got around as well. Oh, he man, he was moving. But I'm really just gonna just talk about um, the the crime syndication and the crime stuff that go on in LA and how people can easily get entangled in it because even in the situation with Big U and that Rico, some celebrities were like called out her name, like Shaq for one. Not that he was involved, but they were saying like he got extorted or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, a few things. Let me just bring this up. First off, I don't want to put on my conspiracy theory hat, but I will. Um, Gilbert Arenas, for the most part, he got caught with some GUNs. I remember that he brought GUNs uh, to the locker room, and then he actually made a pow pow signal to one of his opponents on the court. Like, dude, this is just he's crazy. That's crazy. It's real crazy. But the situation with him and now this federal indictment, um, I'm gonna say this. I think something happened to his son a couple of months back, earlier in well, not even summer. It was before the summer, so spring. Something happened to his son. His son had gotten to a an accident, and of all cars to get an accident in, he got into an accident in a Tesla Cybertruck, and I think it came to they said that the wheel malfunctioned. Um, he said they won't put away big gang bangers like music moguls, but coming after all these other guys. Exactly. Um, but his son got into an accident, Cybertruck. I don't think there were no physical injuries done to his son or nothing, but the truck caught fire. And with them, with them EV trucks with those lithium batteries, you got to be real careful. Even with like a lithium battery, like I have to change the lithium battery in my laptop, and one little move, that battery will burst into flames. Yeah, they so yeah, his son was in a well. Let me get back to the coma part, but yeah, it's a Tesla truck, Cybertruck, caught on fire. The son had all the smoke inhalation, no physical injuries. He was in a coma, yeah, for a minute, and then I think they offered to settle because it was liable. You know, it was shown that it was liable on the fault of Tesla allegedly, right? So what happened is they tried to say, "Hey, you want to settle?" I don't think he took the settlement. He's not taking any settlement. And now we got this. I'm not saying that Tesla or Elon Musk, but we don't know. But I'm just putting two and two together. Um, yeah, like there's a lot of stuff going on just behind the scenes. When I just thought about that situation with his son, and I said, "Oh," and then they said they were watching him since like 2020, 2021, like during the pandemic. So he was running, allegedly, he was running like gambling spots, poker games in a few of his in his spot in Encino. And that's where we got the Israeli mob and all these other, it was a bunch of Israeli people, a bunch of what are the other ethnicities of these people? I think one of the people was Greek. It was a woman involved as well. Then there was they put in the thing about young women. So what's up, James Brown? So yeah, young women. So that lets you know, like, oh, red flag. Maybe it was some little A minor activity. I don't know, but we don't know. I'm not saying that's what Gilbert Arenas does, but that's what was in the complaint. And I said, okay, it's something else going on. It's something else. So I mean, in all honesty, I didn't really want to say too much. I really wanted to let everything come out. But for the most part, it's like, if it's kind of looking weird, sounding weird, let's really investigate. Let's put it out there. Let's see what it is. Yeah. So he is going to possibly. It looks like he's caught. Somebody snitched. Looked like he's caught at least on one charge because they had in the complaint the picture that he sent to the person or the CI, whoever, and it had. He's like, I'm over here playing poker at my spot, and it said Arenas Poker or something. It was just like branded a branded gambling table, just just weird, just crazy. Um, yeah, well, yeah, there we go. The P word, the pro word. That they might try to throw the trap, the traffic to the king stuff in there. It's other stuff going on. I know Kwame was talking about how uh, he and Gilbert Arenas was going at it. Kwame had a whole bunch of say. And I do find it interesting. I was reading between the lines what he was saying. He was going in on Ticket low key. He was telling Ticket he was on Ticket earlier, and Ticket TV. Shout out to Ticket TV. He was just like, look, this guy Gilbert has been, yeah, Turkish Americans. Oh wait, who's been up and down the East Coast, born in Ohio. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. For real. Yep, you're right. But Kwame Brown was telling Ticket, like, look, man, and y'all got to check out what he was saying though. He was just saying, don't give Gilbert no pass and calling him a troll. This guy is a stalker. Like he was just saying, like, you can't just give him a pass and just be like, oh, he's just stalking. I mean, he's just trolling. No, it's like it's legit stalking because well, according to Kwame Brown, he said Gilbert Arenas had some people's, like fly drones over his property, like just weird. That's weird. That's weird. So I mean, if you're going at it with someone or whatever, and it's an online thing, it's a to taunt them or whatever. That's one thing. But then when you start making all these calls, then it gets into harassment, and you just gotta either you handle it yourself. I mean, Kwame was just like, yo, you come to my doorstep, and that's right. Castle doctrine. He's in Georgia, so but yeah, it's very interesting. But Kwame had a whole lot to say. Y'all go over there and check it out. And there was another piece that I was going to make. Yeah, Kwame was also saying that Vlad was baiting Kwame because Kwame was not supposed to. Vlad wanted Kwame on his platform doing an interview. He turned him down. So they ended up, Vlad people had Gilbert come on, and then Gilbert Arenas come on, Gil, and basically was taunting them. And Vlad is known for that, getting people on his platform to talk about other people. And Kwame was right. He said other black people, get other black people to talk about other black people because Vlad can't do it. Like it's like TMZ. He got his black Harvey got his black sector, and they're allowed to talk about the blacks, right? and or they'll have other people come on and talk about it. So yeah, what's up, Yvonne? It's the same tactic. It's the same antics. Vlad does that. But Vlad was playing Kwame against Gilbert Arenas. Sad situation. Sad, sad. But yeah, I did see a bet uh, that Gilbert Arenas did online. I was like, that fool bet it. He bet it. He bet it. Like he literally made a bet online. So I said, these are his new bets. He's just betting. This is what he does. No, but it was funny. It was him and his now wife. She tried to run a trick on him on her YouTube channel. She's like, hey, she called Gilbert Arenas down to come, witness this little magic trick she was gonna do or something. And she said she gonna make the water disappear with a cup of water. He's like, yeah, you can't make that water disappear. She's like, yeah, I can. Watch right in front of your eyes. I'm gonna make it disappear. And he's like, oh, if I make it disappear, you give me $1,000. That's what she said to him. And he's like, okay, well, and if you don't, you got to give me some upside down neck. Like that was the bet. I said, wow. Wow. I mean, crazy. But no, I mean, I'm not here. I'm not here to bring nobody down, talk about nobody. That was just funny to me, and I found it hilarious. And they're a little cute, little goofy couple. That's cool. That works. That works. But other than that, that's all I really had to say. I had a lot more. I'm just like, I'm not gonna really get too in depth. I'm a pull back from a lot of the stuff that a lot of these other people say online, like kind of to drag people down. And it's not even a drag down. It's more like a uh, who was that? Who again? Exhibit. I like pinto beans. Exhibit went downhill. Your mama went down though. That's what happened. I like pinto beans. How about exhibit? Why everybody? Not no damn exhibit. Again, shout out to Alvin. Um, yeah. I'm not gonna get too much into that. What's up, Temper? I'm not gonna get too much into the he said, she said. That's why I said if y'all want to hear what Kwame said, go to Ticket TV's last live. And Kwame was going in. Shout out to Kwame Brown, he was going in. But he made a lot of good points, and I was just reading between the lines. Like, oh, yeah, I'm almost certain too that the design just to push me. Bethany, yes, yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, that's what a lot of these people do on YouTube. I'm not gonna say no names, Here we are, Jaguar. What's up, love? Where you at? Can you hear me?
Let me make sure I put it on. Let me put something on. I can't come out here bucket naked.
Okay,
I
come
can't
butt
do
naked.
that.
Yeah, don't do that. You really gonna have the internet on fire. You be like Jaguar,
Well,
right? Naked
these days to me, bucket naked is without, a green screen.
without a green screen. Yeah, in fact, let me throw my green screen on. Let me just put that there. No, let me not do that because I don't want them thinking that I'm trying to clout chase off of that. Hey, how you doing, beautiful? Look
I
at this
don't
ugly
know.
motherfucker right here.
She's
J
frightening.
J J Jay Z Jay Zena.
Frightening.
That's Jay Zena. Woo, woo. What if she came up to you at the club, Jack? What would you do?
Uh pray. Pray for her immediately.
Shout out to Jay Z. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
I,
not. I'm not
I
going.
like that one, but I actually like Jayonce better.
Oh damn,
Yeah.
Jay Beyonce. Yeah. I was gonna get into the more into this whole situation with that guy, but I said let me not do that. Oh
I mean, what do you want to get into? Because the truth is you got every right to get into whatever you want to get into. I mean, apparently it's cool for people to say and do whatever they want. I mean, I just have I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, what's going on with all of this corrupt business happening in the entertainment world? Like, there seems to be more gangsters in entertainment than on the streets these days. Like, everybody that's involved is, well, weird.
yeah,
Like, you're supposed to be a basketball player, but you're doing all of this other stuff. You got music moguls doing all of that other stuff. You got football players. Like it's like everybody in entertainment is lightweight, for real. Just either a part of or the head of some kind of criminal organization. And I just find it funny. I find it real funny that nobody is paying attention to what's really going on. Like, what are we really investing in?
yeah, yeah, yeah. These entertainers are tricksters. A lot of them are tricksters, and they could be whores to corporations, and they people in these corporations know that, so therefore they buy up as many as they can. Or again, some of these criminal organizations will buy up these so-called celebrities or whatever, and they have other nefarious things they other ideas they have for them. The
Mm.
celebrity, the ball player may turn around and think, oh well, yeah, I'm getting this protection or I'm getting this little money or whatever, whatever. But the reality is, it's like you guys getting set up. Remember that show, The Fall Guy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, apparently I'm stuck.
Uh oh.
See that face?
I don't see anything.
Oh, I'm out, so you just hear my voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
What happened?
well, I don't know. I don't know what happened. It actually, I do know what happened. Somebody called, and I forgot to put on do not disturb. So
You want to go out and come back in? You can.
okay, well then let me just do that.
Okay. Well, while she's out, as you can see, I want you guys to come on out to the Compton Film Festival. I We'll have a my documentary set in the West will be featured at the Compton Film Festival. Compton Film Festival is it's happening between the is it the 7th and the 9th? No, I'm sorry, the 4th and the 7th at Compton College. Yeah, my date is the 6th. They're gonna premiere mine on the 6th. Okay, all right, there you go.
All
I
right,
was
my back. Mic check, mic
yeah,
check. 1 2 1 2.
you're back,
Mic check. One
you're
two one
back,
two.
you're back, switching and stitching the game like a
Mm.
tailor with a needle, sewing up the gang lanes. Better be wearing something lethal. Um, I was mentioning the Compton Film Festival, and I'm honored to. Do I sound good? Hope it's not a lot of background noise.
It's not a lot. It's a little bit, but not a lot. Not a
Okay.
lot.
All right. I'll take it easy. Yeah, Set in the West will be at the Compton Film Festival, you guys, and the website is right there, comptonfilmfestival.com. And if you want to come check it out, I'm gonna have a screening, and I'm gonna have Q&A. Compton Film Festival. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do on the ninth. I'm sorry, the 6th, September 6th, 1 o'clock, Compton High. I mean Compton College. I'm tripping. Compton High. But yeah, speaking of somebody that was in my documentary, a person that's cool as hell, Lonzo Williams. He
Oh,
he
salute to
spoke
Lonzo.
on. Yeah, shout out to the OG. He spoke on him getting in the music industry, and when he started noticing, certain people around him, basically, like criminal mafia organization types. He's like, oh man, what am I getting into? And shout out to him. A lot of people like some of his older partners were cool with my dad. My dad ran with, I ain't gonna say who, but with some people, and he was a promoter. He did his thing, and like entertainment industry, and you know this. It's littered with shady figures, shady people, and yeah, that's like their playground to a degree.
Well, I mean,
Um,
let's just be clear. Entertainment is the easiest way, especially gaming, food, alcohol, beverage, whatever you want to call it. Um, all of these things are perfect for laundering, money. It's perfect for it. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that. Like there's so many people in the business that just do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something right now. The one thing that I've always known is, I was telling you a story the other day about somebody who, was kind of making music, but he was more into the pharmaceutical game. And when I got my deal, the first thing he wanted to do was get in because he wanted to use my name and wanted to use my business to launder money. And when I told him no, and I'm like, I got kids. Like everyone knows this. And if you go and you look at most of the record labels that are out there, most of the record labels that are out there, they got ties to filthy, filthy, filthy money. I mean, like I always thought it was funny that that group that he had, the Diddler had with Dawn Richardson and Kalina, I believe her name is, but it was called Diddy Dirty Money. Like they throw all of this stuff in your face and they sit there and they pretend, like, and it's just we got to ask ourselves what's going on. So now you got this guy who was an NBA player who has like federal charges up the wazoo. His wife was a YouTuber. Like there's so much there, really, when you think about it. There's a lot there. His wife is a YouTuber. He's an NBA player. We got a lot of like retired NBA players, NFL players that are now on YouTube. Like this has become a lot of people's retirement plan in a lot of ways. And don't get me wrong, anybody who has a monetized channel, you have a monetized channel, is great. But not all of us are using our channels to do the same thing. So I don't know. It sounds like he's a diversion to me. It sounds like somebody's burning him to save somebody else or to create a distraction somewhere.
Bingo. Come out of this. He came out of the. He answered to the charges, of course, and his response was, y'all got the wrong person or something like that.
Mhm.
I ain't got nothing to do with this. And he came out kind of like happy.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, he came out, and I was just like, oh, I mean, he didn't seem like he was like, oh man, I'm looking at 15 years. He came out like laughing, smiling.
Apparently, he knows something.
So
Apparently, he knows something. It's just, I don't know. I'm honestly looking at all of this stuff. It's becoming exhausting, and it's getting a little annoying. It's getting a little annoying because the more that we look at it, this person, Shannon, nobody's talking about, okay, so Shannon Sharp is finally now getting fired from ESPN. Like, we didn't know that was going to happen. Little girl gets the money, and now there's more people coming. Like, has nobody not bothered to notice that ever since he had Cat Williams in 2024 on his channel, it's just been nothing but a series of unfortunate events over and over and over again? Like, everybody is on the chopping block to get set up. And I don't get it. I don't get why people don't want to see it. But I don't know. If he's laughing about his charges, then
I think it also. Oh no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't
Finish.
know. Maybe he's got a trick up his jersey.
I don't know, but I'm gonna go back to the administration. It seems like the thing that's going on with this administration now. It's like you get down or lay down, and you know, we ain't got to talk about the puff stuff, but just everything that's coming out. It looks like a get
Well,
down or lay down. Like the entertainment, it's like somebody laid down, so now that's their get down, and no pun intended or whatever. But yeah, it's. I think. What are you going to talk more about that? Just these whole new developments with the Puff Trump Epstein thing.
I mean, what is there to talk about? Everybody else got it all figured out. Trump is going to be pardoning everyone. All of the bad guys are going to go away. MAGA's going to sit around with a thumb in their mouth, hollering and screaming, "It's not fair. We want more ice cream." I mean, everybody's got it all figured out, right? Everyone's got it all figured out. One minute he's getting a pardon, the next minute he's getting a new trial. I don't know. Which one is it? He's getting pardoned. He's getting a new trial. He's getting a new trial. And if he loses this one, then he's getting pardoned. It's like everybody's got something to say. And it's wild because you remember when he made that
It's real
statement.
quaint and no, not.
Hmm?
No, go ahead. What you say?
No, I was like, you remember when Trump made that statement at the Oval when he got ambushed with the Diddy question right at the beginning of the trial? We were in New York. We watched it
Yeah,
ourselves. And then to see people take that and recycle it like that's a new soundbite, that's kind of wild. That was back in May. So I don't know. What do you think? I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're there. It might be spotty because my internet here is kind of because you're like going in and out. I can hear you perfectly, but okay, that's
Okay.
better. Um, no, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of just weird stuff going on, but that's why I always said Diddy distraction, even with Gilbert Arenas, another distraction. I'm curious to see how it all pans out, but I just think there's something else going on behind the
I think
scenes.
there's a lot going on
Um,
behind the scenes.
a lot more.
You know, it's funny. A lot of people kind of skip past the whole Cash Patel news. Apparently, he found some burned up something, evidence. It's wild. Apparently, people were trying to rig elections and tried to burn the evidence. Yeah, today is the deadline. Today, and guess what? It's not just today. Like, well, it's not just that. There's something else that's going on in court too, or at least it was up until about maybe an hour ago. It should be over by now. And we'll see and we'll hear. We shall. But today, I'm really hoping that, our source, whoever went to the hearing, I'm hoping that they're going to be able to give us some good intel because there's a lot of stuff going on that people don't want to pay attention to. Meanwhile, it's kind of disappointing to see all of the people that are like newfound Diddy supporters or newfound Diddy believers because a lot of these people were making content saying the exact opposite like 5 months ago. It's weird how that goes. But anything's possible on the internet. You can make the truth disappear and you can make a lie seem real on the internet. Everything seems to just, whatever you want it to be on the internet. Oh my goodness. You're muted, so I don't know if you're trying to be muted or not, but
Adjust it so it can, yeah. Plus, I was in an area that was kind
hmm like I don't even understand what's the point in worrying about getting to the facts anymore. Let's just all make up a bunch of stuff. Let's see who can make up the most ridiculous story and see how it goes.
of my bad.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, now I was saying phone overheated. I'm in an area that's just real sketchy. It's 1,000 degrees.
Do you need to
You say what?
do we need to shut it down?
No, we can shut it down in about 10 minutes. Let's just shut it down in 10 minutes. I mean, I didn't want to make this a long one anyway, but I'm glad you popped up. Appreciate you. I just wanted to touch on a few things and talk about that topic, that discussion. But um, Kwame Brown,
So
Gilbert
look at
Arenas,
Kwame
I didn't
Brown.
know they had beef like that. Yeah, I didn't even know they.
How would you? There's so many people beefing. I saw a comment in Gene Deal's chat today, and salute to Gene Deal. Um, Shout out to him. He had to come and let everybody know they could kiss his whole black behind. Um, and it's funny because he was saying something that was really interesting, and he was just like, anybody who's sitting there repping this dude after everything that y'all heard about him in court, and y'all didn't even hear everything about this dude, like, ah, I'm looking at you sideways. And then, everyone, oh, you're a liar. 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 So I'm just curious. I'm curious to see if the content creators that were just bigging Gene up like a month or so ago are going to stick to that, because it's looking like now anybody who ever spoke out against Diddy is now allegedly a liar. And it's so funny because Gene is saying the exact same thing I'm saying. You can't prove that not one thing that any of us said was a lie. More importantly than that, everything that happened in that courtroom kind of makes it makes it hard to ignore the fact that we were all telling the truth. Now there were a lot of things that happened after Gene left. Me and Gene talked about this on the blue couch. But it doesn't mean that just because he wasn't there and because you can't finger him with something. And I'm starting to notice that that's what a lot of this YouTube stuff is about. People are always trying to finger stuff on people. People don't need it to be true. They want to make it true. They want to put a jacket on you and they want to make it fit. That's what it seems to be. And meanwhile, nobody ever calls out any of the liars. Because the truth is most people that are running around saying, oh, such and such is a liar, such and such is a liar, they're usually the biggest liars of all. And salute. Thank you for all 40 likes and thank you to all 46 people in the room. We need those likes to keep on liking. We need those likes to match the views. That would be great. But seriously, so I'm just trying to figure out how long is it going to be before everyone turns on Gilbert Arenas? I mean, that's what they seem to do. But the comment that I was saying that was in Gene's chat, it was like somebody said, all of YouTube has gone wild. Everyone in all of the sectors are battling and going back and forth. And they said, and I love it.
Oh, really?
Hmm. That was the comment. The comment in the chat. All of YouTube has gone wide. All of the sectors are going back and forth. Everyone is battling, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a soap opera to a. I'm sure there's bets of the next Finney, the legend, and that. Remember that
Yeah,
incident? They're betting
look at
on
how
that.
quickly that came and left. Everybody who was sitting there making content about it, now that the story is just as unalive as they are, all of a sudden, boom, they done moved on.
That's because it's tied. It was tied to YouTube, which is tied to Google, and they have money to make. That's just bad for business. Y'all keep talking about this stuff that happened. I'm sure a lot of those videos were.
Probably. I mean, it's wild because how didn't we hear about this Gilbert Arenas and this Kwame Brown beef? How didn't we hear about that?
You say how we didn't hear, or how
Yeah,
should we
how
hear it?
didn't we hear about it? Because I don't remember hearing about it.
I heard about it today. I was listening to Ticket TV, and Kwame jumped on and started. He hit the link and he was talking, and I'm like, oh damn, I didn't know they were beefing like that. And he broke down the whole thing about Vlad. Um, Kwame wanted to. Well, Vlad wanted Kwame on his platform. Kwame
Oh.
like, I'm cool. I ain't gonna do all a bunch of other people to talk mess about around, and
Mm.
then specifically Gilbert Arenas came on and called them all kind of dogged them out. It's
Mm.
not Gilbert. He was saying other trolls. So there's a whole yeah. There's a bunch of trolls that are just like we had our trolls, and we pay attention. Now we're not even giving no damn. They can't even. Uh, they're like kids. Your kids want your attention, right? Like, mommy, daddy. Go to your room, goddamn. Go to
What
your
I can't
goddamn
imagine
room.
is a 53-year-old troll that sits online for 6 hours just to disappear it because they're mad that they can't. play Ding Dong Dixie. Like it's really embarrassing. But once again,
Oh, she played Ding Dong Ditch. You mean Ding Dong Ditch?
yeah. But it's the thing is I like that Kwame, corrected that. No, stop saying that it's trolling. It's harassment.
Yeah,
That's what it
harassment. Yeah,
is. And
that's a totally did. That ain't
for
trolling.
Vladimir Lyuski to be mad that Kwame wouldn't was smart enough not to come on his show just like me, isn't it funny? Nobody really ever gives credit to the people that turn that show down. They only sit there and applaud the people that are that go. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Why aren't people seeing how
yeah.
this works?
No, they're being willfully ignorant to the
Because
fact.
the only
To be
reason
honest.
Vlad wanted him to come on the show is so that he could remix him into finding a way to killing his credibility. Because that's what Vlad does.
Exactly.
Anybody that tells the truth
Exactly.
about the industry or the things that are happening in the industry. So instead, you bring a criminal to talk crap about a man who was brave enough to speak out against an organization like the NBA, just
Well,
like I was brave enough to speak out against music and entertainment. You want to know what else I thought was funny when I was listening to Gene's live? He said that people was offering him podcasts, offered him money. Somebody offered him $250,000 to do a podcast, and he said no. And apparently MREC wanted to pay him big bank too to just do 11 episodes of a podcast. I guess I guess MREC is now writing checks like Adam 22. Like all of this is getting real interesting.
no, Jag. What's going on?
You breaking up a little bit, so I don't know if it's just me.
It probably is. I'm in the forest.
Mm.
That's where I'm at. Can you hear me better
Yeah,
now
I
or
can hear you a
no?
little better now.
Okay. Okay. We'll wrap it in a second. But the record industry, the label game back in the day, where when they signed you,
Yeah.
all they did was go and get a loan or like what $1 million, right? And then they said, here's a quarter of it, Jaguar. We want you to record this album with this budget. And then you went ahead
Mm-hmm.
and they went ahead and they pressed it up, and, within that
And
budget.
then they made
And
me responsible for paying the whole loan back by myself.
exactly. And they made, if they sold a million, 10, $20 million, and they did was they took it was $1 million that they got, and they gave you a portion of it, and then they're making you pay.
And make
It's
you pay
yeah.
the
The
interest
podcast game is
for the
similar to
loan
that.
that they took out
Yep.
in your name. Like, I don't think people realize
Yep.
how screwy this is. And, when it comes to like NBA players and stuff like that, yeah, they get their money. But they have agents. They have a bunch of people that's attached to that purse. So they're not keeping all of that cash themselves. Like, I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to the fact that the second that you sign one of these contracts, you become property to these corporations. And then they have all of these people that you have to hire, that you have to do this, you have to do that, and they all have to get paid off of your money. So if you can't, you got to pay all of these people. So, that contract ain't looking as jazzy as it was looking before. And maybe that explains why they all want to go into a life of crime to supplement all of the money that they lose to the business, to the game.
Well, it's a lot deeper. If you listen to what Ticket was saying, I mean, what Kwame was telling Ticket in regards
Hmm.
to what he was using the platform for, and telling people and telling these players. get your money out the banks, this and that. Like he was breaking it down, just like how you said. That you
Yeah.
can't pretty much not that you can't leave with the money, but as soon as you retire, you pretty much you ain't really got it like that. That you never had it like that. Yeah. And he's like, just a lot more people are waking up. They'll put money in the pocket of people that'll keep people asleep, or they see your value. Oh, we'll give you $250,000 to shut up. That's probably what they, or maybe they'll
Where
line
the
them up. You never
Epstein
know.
files? I don't know. Jimmy Hoffa got them. That's what I heard last. Jimmy Hoffa got the Epstein files. They got to find Jimmy Hoffa to get them. Yeah. That's why they can't find the Epstein files, because Jimmy Hoffa, he time traveled to the future and he stole the list, and then he took it with him when he disappeared back when he disappeared. So yeah, got to find Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, I know. I know Jimmy Hoffa is unalive. I know. That's the point. You got to move a little faster. You don't seem to be keeping up with me. It's nobody's really paying attention. Haven't y'all not? Are y'all not like paying attention how this is going? One week they're focused all on Epstein. Next week they focused on Diddy. If the Diddy thing ain't working enough to cover up what's going on with the Epstein, then they remixed it and they throw another weirdo case in here like this Gilbert Arenas, and then they do this and they do that and they do this and they do that, and yeah, it's like they playing hokey pokey with the truth. Now, I can't speak on Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi needs to speak for herself. What I will say is this, and this is all I'm going to say regarding this, because the Epstein files don't have anything to do with this conversation. We're talking about Gilbert Arenas. Um, but government is government. Government's going to do what government has always done. The question is, when are we going to demand that our government do something different?
Yep. Yep.
It's not about whether or not you're breaking or whatever the case may be. If you're not breaking them, the only thing you're doing is breaking wind. Now, if y'all want to have a conversation about how the public can come together as a whole and demand that we get the answers that we need, that we get the things that were promised, yeah, I'm all for that conversation. But nobody's trying to have that conversation. There's a lot of this, there's a lot of that, and we're still not doing anything. When I think about some of the other countries in past history and stuff like that, when their government stopped responding, the people got active.
Yep.
We don't get active. We don't. We sit online, we complain, we talk, we sit online, we complain, we talk, we sit online, we complain, we talk, we say, I want this, I want them, I want the Epstein files, and I want them now. And we can say all of that, but what are we really doing? What are we really doing? And how is any of this any different than what it's always been? How? See, to me, that's a conversation worth having. What is so broken with the American people that we can't get our government to take us seriously? Like, our government is broken because these people do whatever the fuck they want to do right in front of our faces, right? Whenever they want, however they want. And they don't seem to be worried about nothing. They laughing
They
just
don't.
like
They're not
Gilbert
worried about
Arenas.
the.
They laughing just like Gilbert
They're not worried
Arenas.
about. They're not worried about the retribution. They're not worried about it because right now it looks like, yeah, we looking like punks.
Like, we can sit there and we can holler and we can yell and we can scream, but if we are not doing something to get really active and to get activated, then all we doing is breaking wind out of our faces. That's it. I'm tired of being outraged. Aren't you? Aren't you exhausted from outrage? Like, aren't you tired of elect someone who will pardon bro? I don't understand why people keep talking about pardons. Why are people talking about pardons? Has it happened? Has there been one soundbite from President Trump that says he's pardoning the devil, or anyone else for that matter? Ghislaine Maxwell got limited immunity, limited, like the
And then
movie.
I heard they revoked it. I heard they're revoking it. She can't plead the fifth.
Oh
They
yeah,
say she has to plead the fifth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So see, it's like I think the biggest problem that we have right now is that we see this stuff happening. We ask why, but we don't get to the bottom of what's underneath that why. We don't. How do you know he's gonna still pardon her? How do you know? What's your evidence? What's your evidence, Mr. Jackson? Huh? What evidence do you have that he's gonna pardon her? Hmm? Give us one thing. You want to come through here and making all kind of ruckus and all kinds of noise. You want to sit up here and distract the conversation. We talking about corrupt and corrupted basketball people that are laughing at federal charges. What say you about that? What say you about that man looking at multiple? What say you about Gilbert Arenas laughing at multiple federal charges?
Yeah, Jack. People, just in that topic. There's more to come,
Mhm.
and it's not about being first. It's about being right when it comes to that. And I definitely know it's other stuff coming, and I'm just sitting back and wait. Side note,
What
there's
he
some other
do?
stuff coming.
Hold on,
I'm
wait a second, wait a minute. He says she won't say his name when asked about Trump involvement. She won't say his name, or she can't say his name because he's not one of the names. See the problem with that? Unless you can say that you've spoken to these people directly, you you pulling straws, short ones too. I don't know. You don't know if she's going to finger him or can finger him or not. Neither do I. See, this is the problem that I have with the media. They keep pushing these nails out, pushing these thumbnails out, pushing these titles out, pushing these stories out, unsubstantiated, and all it does is leave a bunch of Americans angry. Or is nobody paying attention to that? Is he all over those files? Is Joe Biden all over those files? Is Barack Obama
mm,
all over those files? Because Mr.
well,
Epstein was spending more time with the DNC people than he was the Republicans.
well,
Who else was on those files? For all we know, Harry Kissinger is on those files, for all we know. Like,
okay, Jack. Moving on
yeah, yeah, moving on.
because I don't like people coming into the chat,
I'm sorry, my fault. I'll
hearing
stop
the
because this is your
combo.
channel. Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Because and I'm glad that's why you have your channel and yours is members only because yeah, these people get on here and that's exactly what they try to do is to get you to maybe say some sound bite or whatever, etc. But I just saw this morning that Umar Johnson shared your video, the video we did a couple of days when we were talking about
Oh.
him and the Javon chick and Lennon
Mm.
Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shared it. He shared it. So you know,
Oh, maybe that's
yeah, he
why they
shared
mad.
it. You say maybe that's what?
Maybe that's why so many people are mad. Because a lot of people seem to be mad. A lot of people seem to want our attention. A lot of people seem to want a lot of things.
Oh yeah, they can want it, but that don't mean they gonna get it.
Ish. Mm,
I know. Somebody's about to get caught up in some. I just know somebody's
I'm wrong.
reputation.
You love me anyway. Okay.
What's that? You're right. But I know. There's other things that's going to come down the pipe as
Mm,
well. See, no one again is. They're not talking about a few things. We got the Tory Lanez um, hearing that's going to happen in about two and a half weeks.
nobody's talking about that really.
No,
Wonder why.
no one's talking about the situation with. Well, we talked about that Laura Gatz lady who's tied in with the Rock Nation CEO and
Mhm.
the
And now
no,
NFL
no one's talking
implicated.
about that.
Yeah. Let's be patient. It sounds like he's driving through a bad area. By the way, I want to thank everybody that's here. Thank you for the 55 likes. Please keep liking. It's so funny. Who are you calling baby girl? I'm a grown ass woman pushing 50. And who's dealing with hate? What do you mean accept the love? I accept the love. I accept all love. I'm a very loving person. Anyway, you're bad.
Yeah, I told you I'm in a bad space, but I was saying no one, and it cut out right when I was talking about. I said the quote unquote blogger who's interfering with federal cases. No one's talking about that. That's very interesting.
Not at all. You got no one talking about that
Deliberately.
federal case. You got Gilbert Arenas laughing at his federal case. You got Kwame Brown letting all of us know that Gilbert Arenas was cyber stalking him and harassing him, which we also didn't know. Didn't know about the Vlad thing either. You've got a bunch of people talking about Diddy's coming home, Diddy's getting out, Diddy's getting a new trial. If he was getting a pardon, why would he need a trial? Like I don't think anybody's paying attention to the fact that just a couple of weeks ago, after the sentencing, after they went for bail again, and then he said, "No, you're a violent person, whoopty whoopty woo, you can't get out." They're still asserting the fact that he's violent, but now what they're trying to say is his conviction was unconstitutional because technically he's not the one that paid for anything. He's not, he was just a voyeur. He was just watching it all happen, even though he ordered it all. Like it's wild.
He did pay.
He did pay.
What part of he paid? What part of the game is that?
He did pay. Why are
Yeah,
people
again,
lying? Lying. Liars. Just like there was no Rico, just like there was no this, just like there was no that. Nobody's paying attention to anything. I tell you one thing though, and this is what I will say. I'm gonna turn it over to you first, Louis. I'm sorry, because you were
no, you go ahead. I was about to end this thing because I told you my forest. I'm in the redwood forest, and my dang on my Wi-Fi don't work that good out here. I
are
got
you
that
on your way to
Obama
grandma's
boost
house?
phone. Yep. No, I'm the big bad wolf. You know what it is. So
Yeah, and the big bad wolf went to grandma's
I'm waiting
house
for.
to eat up all the cookies
I'm waiting.
and run down on the
I'm,
kids.
I'm I'm gonna be eating up everything else.
No, but no, for real. It's people need to pay attention to the selective outrage. They need to pay attention to the conversation. They need to pay attention to all of the things that are constantly being distracted. And yeah, man. Yeah, people need to, we need to start paying attention, you know? Thank you, Alina. Uh like it's we need to start paying attention. There's other things that are happening. There are other things afoot. But see, what they like for you to do is they like for you to jump online and run online and say a bunch of stuff so that when receipt hits and something else comes back, they can say, oh, see, you were wrong. You didn't know what you were talking about. That's why sometimes it's important to just fall back
Yep.
and really pay attention to what's happening. Like, as Americans, we're living too much in our emotions based behind the stuff that we see online. And it's kind of wild that we're allowing ourselves to be constantly influenced, constantly triggered. You know, there are some days when I get online and I look, and, when I look at the amount of lies that are constantly being printed online, it almost makes me want to vomit because I can't believe people are really, really, really this hot for lies. Like really just hot for lies. It bothers me that we're more worried about spreading misinformation than we are getting the story straight. So like, yeah, yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. There's definitely going to be more to this whole thing because nobody laughs at multiple federal counts unless they think they got an out.
Yeah, he's goofy, but he ain't that goofy. And yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about this girl being the YouTuber.
Yeah.
And shout out to her. But you already know how these YouTubers get down. There are YouTubers who are potential. Uh,
Federal
I don't
CIs,
even exactly. Yeah,
alleged federal CIs. Hey, Auntie Leah, welcome in. Like I don't think y'all are understanding how this works. Like
this YouTube is
allegedly,
police.
huh?
No, I was saying. I always say. Remember, I said what Dub C said about how this YouTube game works. It's police. You got somebody over here who wants you to press 9-1, or they press 9-1, and they want you to press the other one. You look at that poor that poor. Well, I ain't even say it, but he all of a sudden he got caught up. All of a sudden, after going after somebody, I mean, this
Like
YouTube is police.
how did Gilbert get caught up anyway? Like if he was this much in the game and all of this stuff was going on, how did he get caught up?
Somebody said something. Somebody said
Where did
something.
these charges come from? Like, how is this guy doing all of this stuff with all of this, the greasing of the palms and this, that, and the other? How did he get pinched in the first place? Who fingered him?
Jag, do you know how many gambling spots, big time gambling spots that go on in the hills and LA and all?
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
used to
man,
play at a lot of them.
yeah, it's a lot of that go
Actually,
on. Somebody
actually,
said
that
something.
charge is almost as janky as charging somebody with hurting animals. Because it's
Yeah,
like if they can't get you on illegal gambling, then they'll just accuse you of hurting animals.
yeah,
Listen to me. We
yeah.
we understand, Mr. Jackson. We agree with you. Nobody's disagreeing with you. They all do get away with a lot. The question is who's letting them get away with it? See, that's the question. That's the question we should be asking. That's the question we should be worried about. How do they keep getting away with it? And more importantly, how do they keep getting away with it in our faces? How do they keep playing in our faces? Like, if I'm going to be outraged about something, I'm going to be outraged about that. I'm going to be outraged about the fact that we're literally sitting here watching these people play duck, duck, goose and not calling nobody out on it. Not for real, for real. Yeah, people like to sit up there and they like to say this and they like to say that and they like to do this and they like to do that. But what are we going to do? Really? So, I think I'm going to be going live on my channel. I think I got some things I need to say. I think I got some things I need to say. But I want to thank everybody for the 60 likes. Welcome back to Set in the West. Been gone for a few weeks. Before this channel was wrongfully terminated before it came back, this channel was doing some big numbers. This
Oh man,
channel,
the last one when I was about to jump off the roof. Nah, I'm kidding. I had 30K on that live. I did 100K downtown. Yeah,
I
they were really
know.
good. I appreciate you, Alina.
Elena
Appreciate you.
said that ain't much. What is this? Said that much hasn't
There ain't much
changed.
changed since ancient Rome.
Yeah, back
Back
then.
then, emperor had actors.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want? If you want to talk about that, see, that's what I'm going to get into. Because now with this thing that's going on with Diddy, he's basically saying that he was putting on corn productions and
Yeah.
he was directing.
Hmm.
So that's why he wants to get all. But remember, I told you there's a tie-in with
No, but wait a minute.
all
Wait a
these.
minute. He was directing, right? He was directing, making amateur corn movies.
And there's a black market for that,
Oh
and
yeah.
a lot of these shell
How many
companies.
times did I say that a lot of these freak off tapes were being floated around on the dark net?
Exactly,
I've
exactly.
been said that. But ain't nobody trying to more like Caligula than Nero. More like Caligula, I would think.
And
But
Nero just watched it burn.
well, I mean, he was butt naked with a couple eunuchs playing a harp. Diddy can't play no instrument, so you can't give him Nero status. But my thing is, like, people aren't paying attention to what's being said, or the simple fact that why is nobody questioning Curtis Periwinkle Jackson, also known as I got 50 cents on your hamburger? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, nobody's paying attention to this. Now, not long before Cassie's tape dropped, not long before Cassie's lawsuit dropped, 50 Cent was sitting online talking about how he got one of the videos with Cassie in it getting ran down on in one of these things. And he was looking at it and he said that he called the diddler.
Do
Like,
y'all
he
want
said
me to
this in an
really?
interview.
Do y'all really want Jag? We need to do a deeper dive on this. Do y'all really want me to make content about these actual productions? I'll say that because
Wait a minute. We
it's,
got
it's
to
a
get
black
this.
market thing.
It is a black market thing, but let's be clear about it's because see, we're tap dancing on something here. We're tap dancing. We're tap dancing on something big here. 50 said that the diddler that he had got a copy of this text to his phone. Okay? Text to his phone. And then he called and said, I thought this was your girl. I thought you loved her. And he said, oh, she loves it. She would do anything to make me happy. She loves doing this for me. And meanwhile, 50 Cent's baby mama was doing the exact same thing.
Boom. I'm gonna do a deeper dive on this on the Patreon, on my Patreon, because I do have a Patreon, y'all. So check the description. There's a Patreon. Look, when I was a youngster, because I think somebody in the chat was it Alina was talking about she left LA at 18 and she don't know if she would have survived or they would have, Oh, look, when I was a youngster, I used to be all in and out of these spots in LA. After hours, I was a hustler, right? Man, the people that would be up in there. And when you start thinking about how
Disseminating
it,
corn via text messages, and people were pharmaceutical out of their
I'm
mind.
telling you, they do this. They do this. There was a tape. I ain't gonna talk about it because I don't. I'll talk about it on the Patreon. But yo, they do this. So these celebs, they're not watching regular porn that y'all get at the whatever or see it online.
You
They
say
they got.
corn, right? Yeah, corn.
I said corn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're not watching that corn. They're watching
Corn liquor. Corn, that's what we gonna call it. Corn liquor.
corn liquor. Yeah, there we go. Damn, that's a cold name, corn liquor. They're not watching. They're not watching it. They're not drinking that corn liquor. They got some super. It's the stuff that I don't know. We yeah, like you say, it's a touchy situation because there's
I
yeah
mean, the truth is, if you're going to disseminate corn liquor, you actually have to have a license to do so.
there are a lot of shell companies
See, that's the
that
thing.
there are a lot of shell companies that are attached to Rock and Diddy and the Rock Nation, all that, and that's what they do. Somebody trying to get some money, they trying to get a loan. Remember, somebody's trying to get a loan. They mortgaged their house. They did all that because all that other money is dried up. Because regular corn liquor is just everywhere. Like ain't nobody really paying for corn liquor like that. But I'm
Get
telling
some
you,
celebrities on that tape. Oh, you done up the ante. You done turned it up a little bit. You get some celebrities on that tape. But once again, in order to disseminate porn, you have to be registered.
yeah,
You have to have a license to do
yeah,
so. So I'm just trying to figure out, when is the government going to put a kibosh on this crap that the Diddlers legal team is talking about? Because what they're trying to say is that he was essentially making corn and he was directing corn. He was just on air directing corn, and yet the images from his sessions were being text messaged around and distributed to other people without a license to do so. Boom.
well, well. Let's circle back on that. We didn't already. Yeah, we got a good one. Are you going live soon?
Yeah, I think I am gonna go live. I think I wanna go old school. I wanna talk a bunch of crap. I
I'm
think I'm
there for
going
it.
to go live.
All right, let us know when. I'm there
I'm
for it.
actually thinking about letting it be a little public. I don't know. I'm thinking about letting them go crazy for a minute and then switching it up. I might just
I'm with
do
it.
it. I
I'm with it.
people people play too many games. Um yeah, Superhead. Yeah, she got on. Yep, she sure did. She got on Pierce Morgan and she played the game. But the question is, why? Why did she play that game? That girl been around for a long
Yeah,
time. She's been around for a long time and now she's getting older. And she played the part of the confused um prosty very well. Very well, especially considering that she's supposed to be an author and very highly regarded in the literary community. Y'all need to start asking yourself, when are people gonna stop, just being stupid and all kinds of things just go right by their heads. Disseminating amateur porn via text message. But he was a director, right? He was a voyeur and a director. He didn't have a license. I wonder when people are going to start talking about that. Because the evidence of all of that is all over that trial. All over that trial. You literally watch some of the tapes of these amateur corn films this corn liquor that the Diddy directed and disseminated. They were his tapes. They came from him. So he can't lie and say that he wasn't the one distributing all of this without a license. More importantly, did any of those professionals that were working in this, did any of them sign releases? Because see, you got to understand, when you start playing with these words and you start talking about all of this stuff, now you're talking about an illegal business without proper consent from the people that were participating in it. Understand this. Company funds were used to book. See, ooh,
Okay, Jay.
ooh,
You talked about releases.
Rico?
You talked
Are we
about.
talking about another
Do,
Rico?
do you hear me?
Huh?
I said you talked about releases.
Mhm.
Yeah, Diddy took some of the releases and rubbed it on his nipples. All right, we about to end this. Let's just when you going live, we need to yeah, we're gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it's so funny when you've committed so many crimes that you can literally just trip into three or four more with some, razzle be dazzle baby oil involved. See,
Oh, that's the reason why they said they had all the baby oil because it was a production and they wanted it to look glistening. And I said, these motherfuckers are sick.
yeah, yeah, because it was a production with what license? Registered out of what state? Paid with what funds?
Oh, you know what he's trying to get away with? He's trying to get
What?
away with it like the goddamn Hugh Hefner. He's trying to get wow.
Well, Hef
That's
was
how
his
Hugh
buddy.
Hefner got away with it.
Hef was his buddy, but unfortunately, Hef wasn't doing the kind of stuff that he was doing or the way he was doing it,
Nah,
because it still doesn't change the fact that he was drop kicking and beating on the women who participated in those films. Never caught Hef on camera doing that. It's interesting. Oh, I'm not saying that Hef wasn't abusing anything. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that he was never caught doing it. Hmm. But yeah, look, I will be
I'm
going live
waiting.
on
I'll
the
be waiting
effect
on
in a
your
minute.
live. I'm waiting for you to go live. That's all.